Boy, I almost got as much applause as getting rid of Nancy Pelosi. Does anybody remember Tip O'Neill? Probably not fondly, but he did say one good thing. He said, all politics is local. We can't win in Kentucky unless we win in Christian County. I need you. Can't win unless we win here. We can't win unless we win Western Kentucky. I need your vote. I need you to get out and spread the word. Tip O'Neill was famous for knowing everybody. So he'd walk into a group like this and say, that's Jim Smith. He'd go over and say, hey, Jim, how you doing? How's your back, Jim? They would be fascinated. He'd walk up and say, well, how did you know? You barely knew his name. How did you know he had a problem with his back? He said, oh, hell, everybody's got a back problem. Many years ago, Reagan was traveling to a summit meeting. And Reagan was kind of known for doing what he wanted, and he's saying what he wanted. He was fairly candid. Sometimes I've been accused of being a little too candid.
All right.
Some say that's my greatest fault, or my greatest attribute. That's enough to be desired. Reagan was going to this meeting, and he told his aides he was going to tell this story. And they said, oh, don't do it, don't do it. There could be an international incident. Of course, Reagan went ahead and told him anyway. It seems there was an accountant in Moscow. And the accountant wanted to buy a car. And he'd saved for years and years. It was hard to get enough money to buy a car. There was only one manufacturer, the government. So he went in to the state agency, put his money down on the counter, said, I want to buy a car. The surly bureaucrat looks back at him and said, that's all good and well. Come back in 10 years and pick it up. And the accountant didn't miss a beat. He looked at him and said, well, will that be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday? And the surly bureaucrat looked back at him and said, you idiot, I told you to be 10 years, and you want to know what day of the week it'll be on? He said, yeah, the plumber's coming on Tuesday, and I don't want to listen. It would be funny if it weren't so true. When I first started telling that story, I thought, or retelling the story, it's not even an original story, but retelling that story, I was like, well, Americans won't get it, because Americans won't be able to conceive of the government owning a car manufacturer. That would never happen in America. Now, we own car manufacturers, we own banks, and now we're going to run a sixth of the economy. Obamacare is going to run a sixth of the economy. Well, you know what? I think the president doesn't get us out here. He surely hadn't been here. In fact, I've been asking him to come on down and campaign for my opponent. In fact, I bought him a ticket. I bought him an airline ticket. An airline ticket to Kentucky, but you know what? He's got to fly commercial. I'm not paying for it for so long. We want him to come on down to Kentucky because you know what? Bills like cap and trade would be a disaster. Cap and trade is essentially a tax on your energy. Economists have said it would double the price of your electricity. That hurts consumers, obviously, those on fixed income, those with lower income. But it would also hurt industry, the coal industry, obviously. But the coal industry isn't just coal miners or people who own the coal mines. The coal industry is the person who works in Walmart that sells products to the coal miner. It's the doctor who lives in the community and takes care of the coal miner. We're all interrelated. But it's even bigger than that. There are 2 aluminum plants that President Williams talked about in Henderson. They employ 1,500 people who will provide the jobs for 5,000 more people. They will be bankrupt if we pass cap and trade. Now, we've been using the president in our, I'm going to the sun's getting me. We've been using the president in our ads. He's been doing cameo appearances. It doesn't cost anything. We have just free in our ads. We've got one that came out today, cap and trade ad, and it says in that, uses his words, that his policies will double the price of electricity. He has also said explicitly that his policies will bankrupt coal. He just doesn't care. He's got some notion that we're all going to be driving around in solar cars or have windmills above our house. Now, I'm not opposed to those things. all kinds of energy development's good. I'm not opposed to any energy. But the thing is practically speaking, it'll never account for probably more than 5 or 6% of our energy. We will continue to burn coal, and it would be cutting our nose off to spite our face to get rid of it precipitously. If we do not act in the next few months, we will have the largest tax increase in our history. That's going to be thanks to President Obama. Now he says, well, he just wants to tax those rich people. Have you ever worked for a poor person? Rich people create jobs. They're connected to us the same way we're connected to coal miners. We're all connected to the economy, no matter how rich or poor we are. Think about it. A few years ago, they said, let's stick those rich people and tax their yachts. You know what the rich people did? They went to the Caribbean and bought their yachts down there. But you know who lost their jobs? The guy making $40 and $50 and $60,000 making his ships. We're all interconnected. Not only that, we live in America, the greatest country in the world, with the greatest mobility in the world, where the poorest among us could become the richest among us. Bill Gates' mom was a school teacher. Now, not everybody's going to be Bill Gates, but we live in a society where you have the freedom to achieve. You get a good education, you work hard, you can achieve in our country. Do you see people in our country flying to Cuba for their health care? No. Well, Michael Moore, if he goes, he can stay. Do you see Cuba giving money to help Haiti in their time of need? Americans gave money to help Haiti. I'm sure your churches gave money. We gave in Bowling Green. I'm sure you did in Hopkinsville too. It was a terrible tragedy, but we gave because we have wealth that's created by the American system, that's created by capitalism, and you need people in Washington who are proud of our American way and proud to be Americans. Now, you may have seen an ad, and they're running this ad on me now, saying he's going to raise the deductible to $2,000 for senior citizens. Guess what? Under Obamacare, they already raised your deductible. They're not talking about this. They're so unaware of it, I'm not sure they discovered it until yesterday. I promise you. Nancy Pelosi told you, you can read about it after it's passed. 2,600 pages. You can read about it when you're done. It's worse than that. The bills then go to unelected bureaucrats, and they write more regulations on the bills. Thousands of pages of regulations, but they tell you you can read about it after the fact. I would venture to say that 99% of those in Congress didn't know that the deductibles were going to be raised on Medicare, and it was already done. When I mentioned it, I said, yeah, we do face problems. We now have more money we're spending on Social Security than we're bringing in. The baby boomers are going to retire. I've been blamed for almost everything else in the world, but you know what? I'm not responsible for the baby boom, okay? I did not cause the baby boom. I'm kind of part of the baby boom, but I didn't cause it, okay? But we can't stick our head in the sand. We have 42 million people retired now. We're getting ready to go to 77 million. It's not that we aren't going to have Social Security, Medicare. We've got to figure out how to pay for it. We have to be honest about it. We can't just say, well, let's just borrow some more money from China, or let's just print up some more money to pay for it. There will be changes, but I'm not proposing any changes on those currently retired. So when your neighbors ask about it, you tell them it's untrue, it's a lie, and I'm not proposing changes on those who are retired. But younger people, myself included, talk to anybody my age and ask them, do they think Social Security will be there or Medicare? Most people are doubtful because government is so bad at doing the things they do. So there will have to be changes on younger people. And I'm ready for it and I'll prepare for it. The poorest among us we will still take care of. But the thing is, we have to acknowledge there is a problem and that we have to fix these problems and be honest about what faces us. We have a $2 trillion annual deficit. How big is $1 trillion? It's hard to even fathom. If you put $1,000 bills in your hand and stack them 4 inches high, you have $1 million. If you want to put $1 trillion in your hand with $1,000 bills, it'd be 63 miles high. That used to be $1 billion was a lot of money. There was a politician once upon a time said $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Pretty soon you're talking real money. How big's $1 billion? 1 billion seconds ago, Elvis was alive. 1 billion minutes ago, Jesus was alive. 1 billion hours ago, we were in the Stone Age. But $1 billion ago, at the rate the government spends it, was about 6 minutes ago. It's out of control.
That's right.
And the things they do they do the things well? Government stimulus checks, you see who got them? 77,000 dead people. 17,000 people in jail got them. When Hurricane Katrina came, they sent money to the prison in Baton Rouge. The prisoners said they'd been dislocated. Not from the hurricane, they got caught. But they'd been dislocated and they got FEMA checks. Remember the FEMA trailers that sat in Arkansas for years, 5,000 trailers. You know why they never used them? There's no trailer policy in New Orleans. Nobody can figure out how to change that. Government is inept at what they do. We need governments for certain things. Yes, we need a strong national defense. That's what the government's supposed to be doing. This election will be about who has the best vision for the country. Do we like the president's agenda of higher taxes and more regulations? Or do we want someone who believes in the individual, who believes in the individual entrepreneur, the businessman and woman, who believes and has confidence in us as America, or someone who says the government's the answer to everything? When Ronald Reagan was elected in 1981, he said government is not the solution to the problem, government is the problem. I think America's greatest days lie ahead of us if we get government out of the way, if we unleash the brilliance, the creativity that America's always been famous for. We can do it. We can create jobs. We can build things better than anybody in the world if we get the government out of the way. I appreciate you coming out today. It's not over. It isn't over. We think there's going to be a mandate, but it's not over till it's over. Please tell your friends, family members, those at church. We need every vote that we can get. It's not easy to win this state, but we can win with your help, and I thank you very much for your support.